Elden Ring Straight Swords was up next.
And the starting class that I decided on was Vagabond because it had high vigor, high endurance, and it starts with a straight sword. However, I should have started with the Confessor class because it had alright vigor, alright endurance, but better yet, it started with higher faith, which means I would have been closer to getting my straight sword of choice for this run, which was the Sword of Night and Flame. I died by the Grafted Scion. I got a maiden and a horse. I died to a random soldier.
Dang.
Got the whetstone knife to put Ashes of War on my longsword. I went to Limgrave Tunnel. Then I got my butt handed to me by a stone digger.
Damn. I suck at this game.
That about sums it up. Then I got my butt handed to me by a stone digger troll.
You know what? Fuck this.
So I decided to do an easier boss, the Mad Pumpkinhead. Got my butt handed to me. Then I got my revenge using the guard counter to my advantage, which ended up saving me, and killing him in the process. Some free runes. After that pit stop, I got myself the Flask of Wondrous Physic, a Sacred Tear, and then I decided to go to Caelid to kill Grail. Got bored, went to Round Table Hold to level up my gear, and then I decided to go to Fort Height, where I died.
Oh, fuck. That's fine. It's fine.
And it was not fine. I ended up rage quitting. When I returned to the game a couple days later, I got the Dectus Left medallion, and then I put the Bleeding Slash Ash of War on my longsword to give it bleeding to finally kill Grail. I finally killed Grail, and then put my extra runes into Vigor, Endurance, and Dexterity, because I thought I wanted to dual wield straight swords. Then I went to get the Dectus Right medallion that was in Fort Feralth, just right next door to the Grace. Then I promptly died to a rat, because I am very underleveled for this area still. Then I finally got revenge on the Stone Digger Troll.
Jesus fucking Christ.
There was some venom in that. I did the Stormveil skip to get to Liurnia. I found a warp that I never knew where it went to.
Oh.
Elden Ring is still giving me surprises even after I 100% this game.
Not exactly what I wanted, but hey, I'll take it.
Then I went to the Ray Lucaria Crystal Tunnel. After a couple of hiccups, I managed to fight the Crystallion, win, and get the Smithing Stone Miner's Bell Bearing 1. After that, I decided to go to Academy of Ray Lucaria, where I got the drip that I thought I was going to use for the rest of the game, but you'll see later that is not the case. I fought the Red Wolf of Radagon, and guess what? I rage quit. After my rage quit last time, I decided to go and get my sword that I'm going to be using for the rest of the game. The Sword of Night and Flame. I forgot to record it, but I got the jellyfish spirit summons, and as you can see here, I'm just leveling them up a bit. I finally decided to fight Margit, and I beat him on my first attempt, which was really cool. The path I decided on was the front gate through Stormveil Castle, as you can see in this time lapse. I struggled a little bit to get through everybody until I made it to the Grace. Next, I beat Godric the Grafted. I utilized Nefeli Lu summon as well as my jellyfish summon to take him down on my first attempt. After Godric, I decided to get a rematch on the Red Wolf of Radagon. Ended up trading. As you can see, my jellyfish ended up poisoning the Red Wolf, and it killed him. After that, I went to the courtyard, picked up a golden seed, and then I killed the crab that was guarding it, and then I killed the other crab that was also in the area. Then I went up to fight the Carrion Knight. It didn't go so well. I ended up dying to him.
This knight is so fucking annoying.
I called for a rematch, ended up killing him, and completed my drip with the Carrion Knight shield. With the Carrion Knight shield in my possession, I was finally able to fight Renala of the Full Moon. I ended up beating her first try, got the Great Rune of the Unborn so that I could finally redistribute my stats so that I can wield the Sword of Night and Flame. One thing I forgot about though is that I need a larval tier to reborn.
I never got a larval tier. I'm fucking dumb.
As you can tell in my voice, I didn't really want to go out of my way to go and get one, so I said, screw it, let's go to Altus Plateau. Where I beeline straight for the capital outskirts, so that I can go to the sealed tunnel, so I can get my hands on the Smithing Stone Miner's Bell Bearing 2. I decided to make my way to the Windmill Village, where I decided to call it a day and end my stream.
I think I'm gonna end the stream here. It's a nice place to leave off.
The only thing of note that I got in my next stream was the Opaline Bubble tier and the Magic Shrouding Crack tier, which I use for the rest of the playthrough.
At the start of the next stream, I went to the Albinarix village to get the larval tier in order to rebirth. And whenever I finally did rebirth, I set my stats to be able to wield the Sword of Night and Flame, which ended up reducing my health somewhat, but I thought it was fine. I could just level up more. And to help with leveling up more, I went to get the Golden Scarab Talisman for extra runes every time I killed an enemy, which it actually helped a lot. In order to help me level up, I decided to fight the Putrid Avatar with the Sword of Night and Flame, since it is very weak to fire, as you can see, 1600 damage in one swipe. But just because I did a lot of damage doesn't mean it was going to be easy, because I ended up dying 3 times. Here's once, twice,
Put on my oval tier, that's how fucking reason why.
and 3 times. As they say, 4th time's the charm, and I finally killed it. I ended up receiving 11,000 runes for my pain. Because I beat that last Putrid Avatar, I was on my high horse, and I thought I could defeat the one that was in Dragon Barrel. But as you can see,
Fucking me. Are you?
it was not easy. In the next stream, I tried a couple more times, and then I gave up, went to get the Fire Scorpion Talisman for more fire damage, and went back to attempt the Putrid Avatar a few more times.
Fucking dodge. Fucking gets me every fucking time. Well, I finally figured out what the Of course he leaves immediately, because I'm still fucking here. Fuck you.
With that last fuck you, I decided to go to Altus Tunnel to get some more Somber Stones to level up my weapon further. I even got the Somber Stones Miner's Bell Bearing too. I leveled the Sword of Night and Flame up to level 6, and then I remembered I can get a Somber Smithing Stone 7 in Volcano Manor, so that's where I headed to next. I got the Volcano Manor, Grace in the Church, and decided to call it a day. The next stream I decided to defeat Radon, so I killed Nile on my way to Radon. Then to Celia Crystal Tunnel, where I fought the Falling Star Beast for a Somber 6 and the Somber Miner's Bell Bearing 1. I made it to the Radon Festival finally, and finally fought Radon so that I could level up to an appropriate level.
No! No! Excuse the fuck out of me!
After those failures, I finally beat Radon.
Oh my god! I don't care if you think that's fucking cheating. I have a straight sword in my hand, don't I? Huh? It's a straight sword. I'm using the straight sword.
I did seethe a little bit. After Radon, I decided to get my revenge on the Putrid Avatar, where it gave me 141,000 runes. I then went to Nokron, where I made 2 Mimic Tears roll themselves to their deaths.
Fucking miss!
After that fun debacle, I got the Mimic Tear Ashes, and then grabbed this Grace for Ronnie's questline later. I then went to kill the Godskin Apostle because I thought it would have given me more than 22,000 runes.
There we go.
I then realized I was strong enough to beat the Draconic Tree Sentinel, so I finally entered the Royal Capital. The first thing I did was kill this Crucible Knight so that I could be close to this shortcut that is near the door that leads to the elevator that goes to the Forbidden Lands, so I didn't have to walk so far to get to that door from Morgoth's boss arena. I then killed this tree avatar for a Lord's Rune. Well, for some runes and the Lord's Rune, and also this is the fastest way that I remember to Morgoth's boss room. I then attempted gold free. He was fairly easy with the Mimic Tear. Then it was then time to fight Morgoth the Omen King. I used Melania and my Mimic Tear. With Melania and the Mimic Tear, I soundly defeated Morgoth. Alright, let's speed this up. Fell Twins, done. Morgoth's Great Rune, activated. Blackblade Klindred, dead. Fire Giant.
It was still going? Fuck me. Oh my fucking god. Fuck! No!
I took a break from Fire Giant to level up some more by killing the Godskin Noble.
Cool.
Killed Patches because I don't respect him. I then killed Sewer Moog for more runes to level up even more. And then, get this, I killed the Deathrite Bird for even more runes, so I can level up even more.
Fucker.
Then it was time for me to face the giant once again. I ended up winning thanks to the extra health and extra confidence in that health. I then had Melina burn the Erd Tree.
Thank you for guiding me here.
Then I arrived in Faramazula, where I got the first grace and promptly left. With me still being a little depressed that Melina had to sacrifice herself to provide my way into the Erd Tree, I decided to get a new woman, a new maiden, Ronnie, so I decided to do her quest line. Started in Carrier Manor Upper because I've already been here to get the Sword of Night and Flame. I beat the crap out of Loretta. I said hi to Ronnie. Went back to Nokron to grab the Finger Slayer blade. Went to the Carrion Study Hall, even though I totally didn't have to, because I forgot that I didn't have to for Ronnie's questline. I went to Renna's Rise to get to the Einzel River main. Then to Noxtella, the Eternal City. Took out the Baleful Shadow, that was just a copy of Blythe. And I got to this shithole. I left the shithole to fight Centipede McSkullface. I then put a ring on my rebound girl. Crumbling Farm Azula was up next. I made my way to the next race as quickly as I could. I then fought the Godskin duo. Promptly died. Fought them again and won. Then tried to kill the Draconic Tree Sentinel guarding Malekith's boss room. And succeeded. I finally started my struggle against Malekith.
No!
Now that I beat Malekith, it was time for the endgame. I awoke in Lindale Ashen Capital. The first thing I did here was get the Crimson Amber Medallion +2, which is a direct upgrade to my talisman that I had been using for a majority of the game, which was the Crimson Amber Medallion +1. I then said hi to Gideon. I then took out the biggest Chad in this game. I then fought Flashbang Simulator.
Jesus Christ. That's annoying. Wow. Are you fucking kidding me? My fucking controller didn't activate, what the fuck?
I finally won, and I will let the last few minutes of this amazing game play out.
Oh!
This was an amazing game, and this was really fun to do. I'll see y'all in the next Soulsborne game. Please like and subscribe.